Welcome to our second video in our 5-video series on why your SEO isn't getting you the results that you deserve. This video will focus on common issues around choosing keywords, as well as covering how to choose the right keywords for your specific website. And by the way, if you missed the first video in this series, you should definitely go and check that out. I cover off common issues with Google Analytics that might be causing you to think your SEO is doing better or worse than it actually is. So often I see low authority websites trying to rank for keywords that they, quite frankly, don't have a snowball's hope in hell of ranking for. This is because they just don't have enough link authority to rank for these keywords. It's possible you've fallen into that trap yourself at some point. Maybe you see your competitors, they rank for lots of high volume keywords, and you think, well, I want to rank for those keywords too. So you create a landing page and it just doesn't get on the first page of Google. The key thing to remember is that some of your competitors have been in the game longer than you have, or they've been doing SEO more aggressively than you have and throwing more money at it than you have for a longer time. And that means they have more links and more authority. If the SEO has been done right, that means that Google thinks they're more important, their websites are more important and authoritative. So you have to kind of consider that when you're choosing the keywords that you want to rank for. So it's important to be very strategic about the keywords that you aim for. It's always better to rank on page 1 of Google for a low traffic keyword than on page 5 of Google for a high traffic keyword, because no one will see your website on page 5 of Google. Tools like Ahrefs can be really useful for helping you choose what keywords to target and indeed what keywords not to target. For example, if you put a website into Ahrefs, it will show you the DR, which is the domain rating. While comparing your website's domain rating with that of your competitors, you will be able to roughly gauge how big the difference is in terms of website authority. It's not foolproof, but it's a quick, fast, dirty way of checking who's got the biggest domain authority and kind of help you gauge what you can try to rank for. So if there's a big difference, it may explain why your competitor is ranking so well and maybe why you're finding it difficult to rank for a given keyword. When it comes to choosing what keywords to target, don't focus on the top, biggest, most authoritative competitors. Instead, focus on competitors who are sort of at the same level of authority that you are, or weaker levels of authority than your website. So when you put your website into Ahrefs, it suggests competitor websites to you based on keywords that you both target. So go through the list of competitors and checking the DR of each one until you find a competitor that's got a weaker domain rating than your website has. Then use Ahrefs to check what keywords the weaker competitor gets traffic for. Now you have a bunch of keywords that you can steal, because if a weaker competitor can get traffic from those keywords, then the chances are pretty good that you, with your website that's slightly the same or slightly higher authority than them, can also get traffic for that keyword, if the content is great, of course. Another approach you can use to target keywords that your competitors aren't necessarily targeting is to enter the keywords that you're considering into Ahrefs and look at the related keyword suggestions list. So you have an authoritative competitor, you put the keyword in there, but instead of targeting the authoritative keywords, look at other keywords that are being suggested, related keywords. Look for keywords with a low KD, that's the keyword difficulty. There's a bunch of filters you can use in the tool to narrow down your list of keywords by maximum keyword difficulty or minimum search volume to find the right balance of, what you think you can strike in terms of keywords to target based on the authority of your website. And once you're happy with the list of keywords, there's the list that you can start creating landing pages for. The keyword difficulty level you should choose depends entirely on the authority of your website and what you kind of see your competitors targeting with similar levels of authority. But if you wanted to be quite conservative, you could set the keyword difficulty, let's say, at less than 10. So you could just show me keywords that are 10 keyword difficulty or lower. Another very common mistake I see people do is they forget to check the SERPs. Now this is super, super important. Once you found the keywords that you think you should target based on the competition and search volume and obviously relevancy to your website's topic, you should also go ahead and check the search engine results page. So actually Google for the keywords that you're thinking of targeting. Why? To see what kind of content Google is serving for those keywords. Is the kind of content Google is serving the same kind of content that you had in mind? A lot of the time you'll be really surprised to see that for the keywords that you think you should target with a transactional or commercial page, Google prefers to show informational content. And if Google thinks the keyword is better served with informational content, then you're going to have a tough time targeting that with a transactional page. And it's better that you tackle that keyword with informational content, because it's going to be really difficult for you to target an informational keyword with a transactional page. So a category page or a product page on an e-commerce site for a term that Google wants to show blog posts for is going to be very difficult. So if you forget to check the SERPs and go ahead and create the product page or the category page to target the query that Google thinks is an informational intent query, then the deck of cards is going to be really stacked against you. So just don't waste your time creating the pages and creating the content until you've checked the SERPs. One little trick that you can do is if you really want to target that keyword and there's a mismatch between the intent, i.e. the intent is informational and you want to sell something, target it with transaction, you could create a hybrid page. Now a hybrid page is normally as like a transactional page with lots of long form content on it, so it's kind of a hybrid between lots and lots of text and sort of some sort of features where you can transact, buy, see products and place orders. So hopefully you have everything you need now to get started choosing the right keywords for your website. But if you need some extra help, just drop a comment below. I'll do what I can to help. Otherwise, if you'd just like an expert to handle all your SEO for you, then you can book in a call with me via my website, sparkseo.net. And if you haven't already subscribed or followed, then go ahead and do that now, because you won't want to miss the next video in the series where I'll be covering up links and link building and the common issues and challenges around that. That's it for this video. Thanks for joining, and I'll see you in the next video.